They never leave WrestleMania with heat. It's always this fireworks, and it was going to be Rock laying there in a pool of blood with the NWO have beaten their two top guys. And day of the show, they switched everything. So
I actually remember when they changed the finish. We were summoned to Vince's hotel room in Toronto. And for months going into this, we know the finish. We're gonna screw Stone Cold. Then we're gonna go in and leave the Rock lane. NWO is gonna be red hot. He changed the finish. I remember looking at Kevin Hulk, and I'd been being a good boy to that point, and I said, "See you in the bar."
Because obviously leading up to WrestleMania, you guys did the angle where Rock and Hogan had the face-off, and then he got ran over with the ambulance or whatever it was with the truck. But it just felt like people wanted to cheer you guys. That was what it was. Do you think that...
And it was not what they wanted. It wasn't what the office wanted. They actually thought when we were in Chicago and Hogan and Rock went toe-to-toe, that it would be maybe 80-20 for The Rock. It was about 95-5 for Hogan. And they knew right then, it was like, okay, so now we're supposed to get heat and run The Rock over in this ambulance with the semi, and the crowd cheers when we run The Rock over.
I've always felt that it doesn't matter really if you boo or you cheer. As long as you buy a ticket, you can cheer and boo for whoever you want. Buy whoever merch you want. As long as you put your butt in the seats, that's all I've ever really cared about. I'd rather wrestle in front of a full arena that's halfway split between cheering one guy or the other guy than a half-empty arena all cheering for the program good guy.
But that's not the way they think.
Don't you get smart with me.
I'm just telling you.
When you guys went back to WWF, when you're backstage, what was the reaction like from the other wrestlers to you guys? Was it straight up they didn't trust you? Was there a fake niceness? What was the atmosphere?
No, they didn't want us there.
No, it was.
We came this close to putting them out of business. So we weren't popular.
There's a story that's going around about you bumping into the Dudley Boys when you got back. Is that true? And would you tell that story?
I don't remember it as a bumping. I remember you walking right up to them.
I remember it was in L.A., and I wasn't required to do anything but come in and get scanned for a new action figure. And I'd been around a little bit, kind of had a big name, and they came up to me, Bubba came up to me and said, "Hey, man, I'm a big fan of yours," and stuff like that. And I said, "Yeah, man," I said, "I love what you guys do. I love your finish. Can't wait to kick out of it." And I ran into him 7 years later, and he went, "Hey, remember that time you said you're going to kick out of my finish, man?" I'm just joking around, and he took it so serious.
Do you think overall, whether it's WCW or WWF, do you get too much of a bad rep about stuff like that? Or is it just more that you guys are having fun and people need to lighten up a bit?
I've always said, I got 5-6 good friends in wrestling. The rest of them, if they don't like me, I really don't care. I've never had anybody say it to my face.
I feel the same way. I'm not asking you out on a date. I don't care if you want to travel with me. Like Kev said, we've got our car full of guys. Most guys, even if they think we're jerks, ask them if they want to wrestle us, and they go, oh yeah, because they're always on top, and they usually draw money. And when we get in the ring, we're not selfish. I've gotten in trouble for putting guys over before when I wasn't supposed to. So, it's not a popularity contest. It ain't show friends, it's show business.
Any more questions? Put your hand up if you got one. Some people over here.
Hi, I'm Diane from Northern Ireland. What would you consider your top 3 matches of your career? Sit down
now. I'm legend. I got a great reputation for WrestleMania 10 with Shawn Michaels. I think what Kevin and I did in SummerSlam when I had Walter Payton in my corner and he had Shawn in his corner was pretty sweet. And my next one is to be announced later. Me versus you.
False count anywhere.
Pam Anderson, special ref.
Ah,
How about your
at the
favorite?
Naval Academy.
Where all the seamen are.
Your favorite matches, Kev?
My favorite match, probably, if I had to pick one, would be me and Brett at Survivor when he beat me. I have four. Scott and I, which is people probably don't even remember it, but it was a Halloween Havoc. Scott and I wrestled against each other, and then me versus Shawn Michaels at In Your House when we used Vashon's leg, and Hell in a Cell with Triple H.
And I want to quickly ask you.
Oh, and then there was apartment wrestling I did. It hasn't been. It's me versus Pam Anderson with Tommy. When Tommy's actually the special guest referee.
Who went over?
It was. I think it was a DQ. She got color.
I want to ask you quickly about, you almost had that program with CM Punk back in 2011, I think it was. And it seemed to get pretty heated, like when you guys were having the promos and stuff like that. Is it something that you wish that you got to do? Because obviously you didn't get to have the
No,
match.
because actually he pissed Triple H off so bad that Triple H beat him before I got a chance to wrestle him.
What was it that he did to piss him off?
He just kind of has that air about him. I got along with him. I didn't have a problem with him. He could have beat me in the middle of the ring. I wouldn't give a